Yo, what's going on guys? You're watching PSD to HTML and CSS Series 1, Lesson 5, and in this video I want to talk you through the lead banner. Alright then gang, so as you can see I'm exactly where I left off last time in the HTML. We did this header section last time, which was the strip right at the top. Now we're going to move on to this banner section right here. And we've already created our div for that with an ID of lead banner, so everything we do is going to go within here. Alright then, so first things first, you'll notice the image on the lead banner stretches from left to right all the way across, right? But again, just like in the nav, we have this inner column of content which is holding all of this stuff within it in a central column, right? So we're going to use that wrapper once again within here. But first things first, I want to just put the image tag in to display this image. So what we need to do is write our image tag, say source equals, and then we know it's within our images folder, / banner, there it is. I give this an alt attribute of lead banner, it doesn't really matter what you call it at the minute, and we'll stop there. Okay, so next thing we want to do is create a div to contain all this stuff in, and I'm going to call that banner -overlay. Alright, that's got a class of banner overlay, and then within that I'm going to do our wrapper div, and I'm going to explain all this in a second. Div class equals wrapper. Okay, cool. So this banner overlay right here is going to contain everything within here, and I'm going to use a position absolute property on this banner overlay so that it kind of goes over the image, and it's going to have 100% width stretching from left to right. Okay, now this wrapper right here is going to be what's keeping this content within a central column. Now you might say, why not give this a class of wrapper and do it there? And I prefer to do it this way because it's much easier to do it in the CSS this way. When we use a position absolute on this div right here, it becomes a little bit tricky keeping it within a central column and lining it up with everything else. Alright, so that's the way I like to work things. Now within this wrapper, we need to pop our title first of all. So we'll give that a div, give it a class of banner-title. And that is, we know, web design. And just a couple of things here, guys. The reason I'm giving these things classes, you see like this here and this here, is because at the minute, yeah, there's just one banner there, but quite often websites like to have sliders where you show one banner for a while, then it slides over, shows another banner. So I'm making this with the future in mind, so that if they did want other banners in the future, they could use these classes again. Even though there's only one on the page at the minute, sorry, in the future there could be multiple. So this is just the way I work. Where I think there may be more of these divs in the future, I'll give them classes. Second thing I want to tell you about is this right here. I've written it just as I would a normal title, not in capitals. Now a lot of web designers write this in capitals. I prefer not to, and this is why. I can control this in the CSS, so I can use a text transform property and say uppercase, and that's going to make this like this right here. But if in the future they have a change of heart and they don't want it uppercase, they don't have to come into the HTML and change every banner title. They just have to change that one property in the CSS and it reverts back to this. Pretty cool, yeah? Alright, cool. So what's next? This bit of text right here, and I'm going to pop that in a P tag. So let's do that, and then I'm going to scoot over, grab my text tool and copy all this right here. Control C. And then I'll paste it within that P tag. Perfect. And the last thing we need is a button right here. So I'm going to do that as an A tag because it's going to link somewhere. href attribute doesn't really matter. And then it's view our work. And same again, I'm not doing capitals even though it is over here. We'll control that in the CSS. Now then, a lot of designers also just kind of chop this button up in Photoshop and they'll use an image here instead. Again, I prefer to do everything in CSS where I can because it reduces loading times of the page. And we can do all this stuff in CSS. The rounded corners, the little shadow around it, everything on this design we can do in the CSS, which is really cool. So that's why I'm using an A tag, and we'll style that later. Alright then guys, so this has been a pretty quick lesson. I just wanted to focus on this banner right here and get that out of the way. In the next lesson, we're going to concentrate on all of these 3 sections right here. So until then, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. Otherwise, if you enjoy these videos, don't forget to subscribe, share and like, and I'll see you in the next one.